Hi, and welcome to the Critical Incident Application. In this lesson, we'll walk you through the process of completing and approving a daily activity sheet, a DAS, or a daily observation report, a DOR, and a 10-shift DOR. The entire process starts with the station commanders. The station commanders needs to create a schedule of proficiencies to be performed by the probationary. The Management Information Systems develop a module in its Critical Incident application to automate all activities associated with the daily activity sheet and the daily observation report approvals. Before we dive into the probationary tracking module, let's review the process from start to finish. As mentioned previously, it starts with the station commander. The station commander needs to schedule the proficiencies. Once scheduled, the probationary will be able to begin completing his or her daily activity sheet, the DAS. The probationary will need to commit all his or her DAS records before the station commander can review and acknowledge the DAS. The station commander will then begin completing the daily observation report, the DOR. The station commander will rate the DOR and consult the probationary. The probationary then has the opportunity to acknowledge his DOR rating by the station commander. This cycle will repeat until the station commander completes 10 DORs for a period of 10 shifts. Once 10 DORs have been completed by the station commander will complete a 10-shift DOR. Now that we have a clear picture of the process, let's log into the Critical Incident application and access the Probationary Tracking application. There are two methods to log in to the Critical Incident application. Launch a web browser and enter the URL http://notify.lafd.org/LAFD or from the LAFD Information Portal CIA tab. On the login screen, enter your user ID and password. If you're having trouble with the login, follow the links on the right for user ID and password help. Click on the main menu link. This will display the categories of the modules that you have access to. On the training module, locate and click the Probationary Tracking application. A proficiency task calendar will display. Your view and permissions are based on your login and your assignment. Now let's play the role of the station commander. The very first thing you need to do is schedule some proficiencies. As a station commander, you have the ability to manage any probationary firefighter's schedule. You may need to change assignment to manage a probationary firefighter's calendar. To change assignment, on the upper left-hand section, click the Change Assignment link. Select the station assignment from the drop-down menu and select the platoon you are going to manage. Read the disclaimer and click the I agree box. Click Submit to continue. Now let's continue and add some proficiencies. Click the red cross icon on the dates you want to add the proficiencies. A proficiency drill schedule form will display. Select the mandatory formal drills, optional formal drills, and/or informal drills. To select multiple adjacent items, hold the Shift key. To select multiple random items, hold the Control key. Once you are satisfied with the selection, click the Submit button to continue. Repeat the process for all the dates you want to schedule the proficiencies. Don't worry, you'll have an opportunity to move any scheduled proficiency to another date, or if you need to, edit and delete a scheduled proficiency. If you need to move proficiencies to another date or delete them, click on the red check icon for that date. Make the changes. The selections are available only for your platoon. Once you are satisfied with the changes, click the Submit button to continue. Now that you've scheduled your proficiencies, the probationary will be able to complete his or her DAS. When the probationary is done with committing all his DAS records, you can begin approving the DAS for the probationary. Click on the Approval tab. To select the DAS you will be approving, click on the red exclamation icon for the DAS. The probationary daily activity sheet will display. Review the probationary committed DAS records. The DAS records are organized into 6 categories. In preparation for the next 5-shift proficiency, manipulative skills practiced today, academic reading assignment covered, lessons learned miscellaneous, lessons learned CAD, and scheduled proficiency. You have the ability to commit the probationer's entries if for any reasons the probationary is unable or failed to commit his or her records. Click on the red Commit button. A commit confirmation will display. You are about to commit these records. It cannot be restored at a later time. Click Yes to continue and No to cancel. You are also able to revert the probationer's entries in any category, to delete or to add to the category. Click on the Revert button. A revert confirmation will display. You are about to revert these records. It cannot be restored at a later time. Click Yes to continue and No to cancel. To delete an item, click the red cross icon for that item. A delete confirmation will display. You are about to delete this item. It cannot be restored at a later time. Click Yes to continue and No to cancel. Be sure that all records are committed before you proceed to rating the probationer's scheduled proficiencies. In the scheduled proficiency category, locate the proficiency you are rating on. Select the rating. The options are below standard, standard, and above standard. For standard and above standard rating, you have the option to type in a comment. For a below standard rating, you are required to enter a reason why The probationer is not meeting the criteria in any of the following: name or location, presentation, safety, operations, and/or maintenance. Select at least one criteria. Criteria and comment are required. Once you have completed the rating for each proficiency, read the acknowledgement statement. Station Commander Acknowledgement. As the station commander, I personally reviewed and acknowledged the firefighter's daily activity sheet under my direct supervision and attest to the best of my knowledge that all actions listed on the form were completed in accordance with the department's rules and regulations, policies, and procedures. By checking the I acknowledge box below, I attest that the information above has been reviewed to the best of my ability and knowledge. You'll need to enter your overall assessment. This field is required. Check the I acknowledge box and click the Submit button. Notice that the dash you've just approved has changed to a green check icon. Now that you have the probationer's dash approved, you can begin approving the DOR. Click the red exclamation icon for the DOR. The probationer's daily observation report will display. Listed are 32 items that the probationary is rated on. Item number 25 is the dash you've previously rated. All other items require a selection. The options are below standard, standard, above standard, and not being rated. All items, for the exception of item number 25, will default to NA. We'll go over a few of the items to give you an idea of the contents in the field and what the required fields are. Remember that at least one selected radio is required. For a below standard selection, the total time and remediation are required. In our example for item number 1, a below standard is selected. Select the total time, select a remediation, read the below standard rating criteria. Each item will have its own below standard rating criteria. The example on item number 1 shows the following criteria. Becomes defensive and resists taking personal responsibility. Demonstrates resistance to suggestions and constructive criticism. Neglect to follow up with corrective actions necessary to improve performance. Check your selection. Type in a required performance comment. On a standard and above standard selection, select only the rating criteria. The example on item number 3 shows the following criteria. Exceed department standards for uniform appearance and grooming. Outstanding observation of cleanliness and neatness required by the department standards. A performance comment is optional for a standard or above standard selection. To add a comment, click on the notebook icon. Type in your comments. Check your selection. On a NA, the probationary is not being rated on the item. Nothing more is needed. Item number 25 carries over the scheduled proficiency or proficiencies from the DAS that you rated for the date. There are 3 scenarios for item number 25. No scheduled proficiency, 1 scheduled proficiency, and multiple scheduled proficiencies with different ratings. For a no scheduled proficiency, which means that the probationary did not get the opportunity to complete any of the scheduled proficiency but recorded other activities for the date. Rating is locked at NA. For a single scheduled proficiency with 1 rating, the rating is carried over from the DAS you previously rated, and the rating is locked. Select a rating criteria, and if you choose to, add an optional performance comment. For a multiple scheduled proficiency, you will need to select an overall rating. Remember that a below standard selection requires a performance comment, a total time, and remediation entry. Select a rating criteria. Rating criteria will be different depending on your rating selection. Once you're satisfied with rating all the necessary items, scroll down to the commander rating and select your overall assessment, satisfactory or unsatisfactory. Type in an optional comment. At this point, you'll have the opportunity to consult the probationary and get his or her acknowledgement. The probationary will need to enter his or her password to validate his or her acceptance of your rating, whether or not he or she agrees with them. The probationary will select concur or do not concur and must enter a required comment. Click the Submit button to complete the DOR. Notice that the DOR you have just approved has changed to a green check icon. We're almost there. Remember this diagram? Here's the section you need to see again. This cycle will repeat until the station commander completes 10 doors for a period of 10 shifts. Once 10 doors have been completed by the station commander will complete a 10-shift door. That's the alarm. Gotta run. The 10-shift door will be in our next video.